I'm Air Force Captain John York from Tampa, Florida, stationed at Eglin Air Force Base in Fort Walton Beach, Florida, flying the F-15C Eagle that you see here as part of the F-15 West Coast demonstration team.
And now, it's time to begin today's demonstration. Captain York will start by showing you just how fast the F-15 can get off the ground and climb. He'll lift off in less than 2,000 feet, immediately pull up into a vertical climb, then roll 180 degrees to position for the split-S maneuver.
The F-15, it's a single-seat fighter. Best air superiority fighter in the world. It's got more kills than any other airplane in the jet world, and it's also never been shot down in combat. So we're very proud of that, and very lucky to be flying this airplane. It's such a great airplane that was made by McDonnell, Douglas, and Boeing.
Traveling at over 650 miles per hour in the opposite direction of takeoff, a high-speed pass.
This F-15 that we brought today to the show is from the 33rd Fighter Wing. We're known as the Nomads, and that's basically because we have a long history of going really far to do our country's work. The meat of the airplane is the radar. That's kind of why we built the airplane. It's a large airplane and it has a large radome, and that's so that we can accommodate a very, very good radar that lets us look out and see folks before they can ever see us.
Captain York is now repositioning for his next maneuver. He'll demonstrate the Eagle's crisp handling characteristics by performing the exacting 4-point roll.
This is the internal 20mm Gatling gun that we have here on the F-15, and it holds 940 rounds of ammunition. We've got a variety of different kinds of 20mm ammunition we can use. We can use incendiary or armor piercing. The gun itself is a real performer. It shoots up to 6,000 rounds a minute, and with pilot math, that works out about 100 bullets a second coming out. You're looking at the business end of the gun, the 6 barrels of the 20mm Gatling gun, but what you have to realize is it starts up there and it goes all the way back here to the aft part of the airplane where you can actually see the barrels of the gun and where the bullets are fed in from the drum that I showed you underneath the airplane. The bullets will come in here, be processed through the gun, go out the business end like I showed you, and then they'll be put back into the drum. So the bullets actually don't come out of the airplane, they go through the gun and then they go back into the bin after they're used. We keep all the spent casings out of the airstream. So if we've got a lot of airplanes flying around, a lot of airplanes shooting the gun, we don't have a lot of spent bullet shells out in the air. So we wouldn't want to be running into those after they were fired. So the gun will actually recycle and put them back into the airplane so they can be removed when we land.
From slow flight, Captain York will raise the landing gear and immediately pull into the vertical to perform a Cuban 8, demonstrating the F-15's ability to rapidly transition from slow speed to high speed flight.
Showed you the gun, now we'll talk a little bit about the missiles. It carries the AIM-120 AMRAAM missile and the AIM-7 Sparrow, both radar-guided missiles, and it also carries the AIM-9 Sidewinder, heat-seeking missile. So we've got the gun, the radar missiles, the heat-seeking missiles. It's a pretty valid threat. You know, most folks nowadays, if they know the Eagle's up flying, they won't even take off and fly. It does its job just by being there, and if folks do decide to fly, well then we've got what it takes to take care of business. We usually put a missile right here, and then in our combat configuration, we're over in the desert, Saudi Arabia. We'll put a drop tank, a centerline tank here. We'll put 2 tanks out on the wings. One tank will be right here on a pylon, and then we can put the AIM-120 missiles and the Sidewinder missiles right along here. So we'll have missiles on the side, external fuel tanks, and then we'll also have the AMRAAM here.
During the 42-day Gulf War, American F-15 shot down 31 world-class fighters without receiving a scratch.
My name is Master Sergeant Peggy Frazee. I'm from Toccoa, Georgia. I'm stationed at Eglin Air Force Base, Florida, and I'm the NCOIC and Director of Operations and Maintenance for the F-15 West Coast demonstration team. I was inspecting our intakes, and that's for loose rivets, nicks on the blades, oil leaks, anything that we might find inside the intake that would hamper our aircraft performance. I get a lot of surprise looks when we're working on the airplane. They come out, do you really know about this airplane? Been on it for 18 years. Yeah, I know a little bit about it. So I think we're changing attitudes, and I'm glad to be a part of that. Gotta get it up in there. Yeah, I grew up in a very rural town in Georgia and didn't see anything with airplanes at all. And then I joined the Air Force, and this is just the job they gave me, and it just turned out to be something I've learned to love. I love it a lot.
2 Pratt & Whitney engines producing about 25,000 pounds of thrust each, so we got 50,000 pounds of thrust. An easy way to think of that is you got twice the horsepower of the entire starting lineup of the Indy 500 right here.
From the left, Captain York will now accelerate up through 450 miles per hour and snap the Eagle through 3 rapid rolls.
Got the big wing of the Eagle. That's what gives us the ability to fly high and also go fast. It's got a lot of wing area, and it really performs well both at low altitude and at high altitude.
Captain York returns to show center to demonstrate the F-15's exceptional turn capability. In this turn, the pilot will be pressed deep into the seat by a force equal to 9 times his normal weight.
What's it like in the cockpit? Your body's really heavy, and your arms are really heavy, and your head's really heavy, and you're doing your anti-G straining maneuver to keep your consciousness while you're doing that. All the time you're looking outside and flying the airplane to make sure you do the maneuver crisp and right. But the thing that folks don't realize is, you'll see the airplane coming in here doing the demo and doing 9G turn. Well, out in the real world where fighter pilots are doing it, they've got guys that they're fighting, and that's part of the, the guy who does the best brake turn or the guy who does the best 9G turn is going to be the guy that's going to win the fight. So, people are in combat and in training, fighting for their lives or to win the engagement, and max performing the airplane with the 9G turn is how they're doing it. What's it like to sit in the cockpit of the Eagle and do the F-15 demo? I think it's probably the greatest thrill, privilege, honor, cool thing you could ever think of. I mean, for being a kid and watching the airplane fly to actually growing up and getting to do it, it's an unbelievable thing. And to be able to show folks the abilities the airplane has, it's really neat. It's a neat honor, and it's great the Air Force took me, a kid from Tampa, Florida, who had never flown an airplane before, and 10 years of being in the Air Force to be able to be the demonstration pilot. It's pretty amazing.